Hello, in this session we will see how we can import a reference image into Maya and model using it. So we have to go to any view, and depending on the image angle we have to choose our view. Like for example, if we are modeling a car and we are having the image of the front side, we have to import that image into the front side. If it is a side view, then we have to import it over here. So in this session we are seeing only about one view and one image. In the later stages we can see two views, three views. When we are working with automobiles or organic models, we can have other views. Today we will go with single view. So I am planning to model a knife. I've already got that image. It is of side view. I'll go to view, image plane, import image. Under import image I have to check for that knife image. We can import JPEG, PNG depending on the image we have. I'm pressing open. The moment I press open, I can import the image. This size depends on the image size. Here on the right side under the attributes we have some options. Here it is, when I go and see in 4 views, I can see this image on all the 4 views. I don't want that to happen. Look only through the camera, through whichever view I imported, only in that view this image is going to be visible. It is not going to be visible other views. Display mode, whether it is in RGB, RGBA, either it is stiff, PNG, depending on that. If I want to cut that alpha, so we can choose the mode over here. This is just an RGB. I can go with the RGB. If this image is bright for me, I can just come here, increase or decrease the value of the gain over here. I can have some color offset. I want to have some changes depending on the alpha. I can increase or decrease. How I want that image over here, whether it is a texture, if it is an image file, or a movie. Movie is mostly used if you are matching the camera. For example, already we have the tracked camera, 3D tracked camera, and that image we wanted the background to match the lighting or match the animation. So we are not getting into movie, we are just going with image file, nearest unfiltered. We don't have to worry about this right now because it is not a texture, it is just an image. We know from where we are getting. We may have image sequence in TIFF format, Cineon, EXR to match the animation or lighting. If we are getting sequence, we have to go with sequence. This is only a single image. We have only one image now with us to do the modeling. We don't have to worry about this, about pixel placement extras. We have the stretching over here. Depending on our image size, this coverage also will happen. So we don't have to do anything with this, right? Image center, if I want to move it, I can have this image center over here, and I increase or decrease here. It is happening. I better use move tool to move it. So this we don't have to worry right now. We are going, when we go with lighting, rendering, those times we will see this. I'll start modeling. So I want to model this knife. So first, before we start, I'll go with control backspace. I'll have a good view of it. So don't 100% trust the reference whatever you are getting. They may be slightly turned, there may be a perspective, this may not be the actual length. Imagine if the image is taken in a little bit tilted, or the angle is around 5 or 2 degrees, the whole proportion will be different. We may have a longer blade and shorter handle if it is tilted towards us. So don't trust it 100%, but try to take reference images nowadays which are almost proportionality correct. Later stages we can guess the other sides or the depth and start modeling. For this I will start with the plane. I will go to shift right click. There is a plane. I have a plane over here. I'll just create a plane. Now I created a plane. Why it is transparent shading? I'll go with X-ray and I'll press 5. So the reason it is not visible to me is it is getting created the same place as my image plane. So I will move this image plane a little bit back. I'll just take it now. Now you can see my object is visible. I'll go with shading, X-ray. I'll start adding some loops, edge ring. Here I'll go with the channel box, multi. I have some divisions over here. I'll apply some vertical divisions, vertex. We have something like this. I'll make sure for now they are of equal distance. Now I will apply some loops over here. Insert H loop tool. Here I will apply a loop wherever I feel I need some bends, some segments. Here I'll apply a loop. Right. I'll come here. I am just matching it to the image. Here I am not worrying about whether the image is correct or not. I am just matching it. So here how we are understanding the thickness, because how we are understanding the thickness by the way light is falling on this image. Here there is no thickness. We know here it is going to be thin. Here also it is going to be thin. This area is going to be thicker. According to that, we have to apply loops. I will apply one more segment over here. Later stages it will be necessary. Again, this sharp area. Before that, I'll apply something over here to get this segment. So we can, otherwise we can use this edge constraint in the move tool. I think this is enough for now. I want to get this thickness. Yes, here we have some problem. It is getting cut or it is getting stopped over here. I want to send it up. I don't want it to cut over here. I'll just come control backspace. I'll go with multi-cut. I will have something like this. So we don't want any triangles happening over here. But in this area we are getting a triangle, no problem. I'll just come here. We need some segments over here. We don't have to worry about this. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to worry about n-gons. So if I want more segments over here, I can come here, multi-cut. Now we have 1, 2, 3. Again I'll come here, add some segments over here. We have some curvy parts. Right, this is what we have right now, but still we didn't apply any thickness to this. I feel here okay, no problem. We'll get a very good smooth. Now we come here, we see the plane. I'll select the plane, Control E, extrude. I am going to bring it this much, so I am going to consider this is going to be the thickness. This is enough. Right, now we have to define this sharpness. So how do we define the sharpness? we have to select these vertices first. So one by one we will define the sharpness. I'll come here. This is going to be a sharp area. Again we have this we have to reduce a bit. Again from that we have to get this sharpness. I'm selecting all these at the bottom, right? We will reduce a bit, not fully, around this much. Yes, it is enough. Again I'll come here, I deselect these vertices at the top. Now I will scale it till the level where it looks a bit sharp, right? This should be sharp. This is the point. Should have some sharp edges, right? So I got a hard model over here. So when I press 3, you can see it is getting smooth. So if I don't want some areas to get smooth, I'll come here, select the edges, shift right clicks, crease tool, middle mouse. I'm getting something like this. Again this loop, if it have to be sharper over here, I don't want to be very soft. Again we can have some thick edges over here. Again at the top I will do the same. So we are getting some sharp tops. Sorry. Again I have to select these areas, G. Now we can see a perfect cut happening over here. Now we have a smooth and cornered blade. So this is okay for now. Next I will go for this handle. Later we will see this. When we go to the handle, I will again choose a plane. I will create it from here to here. I'm gonna add some segments. Yes, width 1 is enough. So the thickness over here, I am understanding the thickness by seeing how the light is falling on the object. I know I am going to apply some vertex chamfer over here. According to that, I am aligning my edge flow. I want a very less amount of edge flow I want. I am just aligning them to the extreme borders of the image. I am just applying edge loops wherever I feel it is necessary. This we will see later what can be done. I am manually adjusting the vertex according to my need. We will see at the end how the mesh flow is going to look. I will apply the loop over here. Insert edge loop tool. Something like this. Again, I will apply one over here. We will see why. Because here there is some chamfer. I don't want to get it using chamfer. I'll do it manually. We will see how it is going to happen. So here it is going to give me some more vertex, so I can make sure this curve is coming fine. I apply some loops over here. Then I want to create this hole. How do I create the hole? I'll select this vertex, this vertex, this vertex, shift right click, chamfer vertex. I'm not going to do anything over here, just leave it. I will manually adjust it. I will manually adjust the vertices because these may have different sizes. We don't know whether they are really correct, so we have to do some manual judgment. This is what we are seeing over here. So the faces are not deleted, we only have to delete the face. Later stages we will delete, multi-cut. So I am clicking at the vertex, shift left click on the edge. I'm not continuing, because if I continue like that, you will get the continuity from the last vertex. So I am pressing right mouse button, again starting from fresh, doing the same over here. Right, do something like this. Manually I am trying to get a circular shape, because if I scale evenly, I'm not sure whether I'll get the right result. Here we will try scaling evenly from the center. So here we are not having any holes, only here we are having a hole. So we'll do something like, we will have some global inset. I'll select 3 faces, Control E. I will click this R. You can see what is happening over here. It is trying to come to its original position, so we don't want that to happen. I'll select this, Control E. Now I will press the scale button over here. So when I press the scale button, it is going to be in its local axis. When I scale it down, you can see it is getting scaled from its original axis. See, this face is getting scaled over here in the original axis. So don't go with global, be with the local axis. Right, I have it over here. I'm not going to delete this, I will just delete this particular face. Let them be like that. I'll select the whole face, Control E. I'll just bring it till this level. It is enough for me. So there is something I have to do right now. We will see that how we can do. This area is going to be thin at the bottom. Look at this. We know we have to make some changes over here to get the result we want. I'll just come here, let it be like this. So I want to get a cut over here. So how do I get a cut? Multi-cut. So when I have a cut, you can see we have some more segments happening over here. I'll just connect this, so we get some smooth cuts over here, from this center to this center, from this center to this center. So we have 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 everywhere. It is going to be 4. The same thing we will do from here to here. It got cut. Now we have something like this. So again, I'll select this ring. I'll select these vertices, or otherwise I can select something like edge ring to edge ring. So this will get selected. I'll just come here. I'll just scale it something like this, right? So when we scale something like this, we are getting some chamfering over here. Without applying chamfer, depending on our need, we can do this scaling. So here, if we don't want in the front, we can have a normal value. So this is how we apply some chamfering without disturbing the mesh flow. So when you come to this side, we see something like this. Better scale it. So don't always trust your loops or however you create. Always have a double check. How is your mesh flow happening? Is it up to your expectation? So they have to be symmetrical. They have to be correct. Right? We got the handle right now. So when I press 3, you can see circles happening. We'll make sure this is an extrude. Control E, thickness minus 0.01. Yes. Again, I'll give the same value over here, minus 0.01. Right. So inside, I will add some loops, edge ring, multi. Just scale them and bring them near this edge. This will give me some control. Right here, we can select these loops, shift right click, crease tool, middle mouse, so they won't be very bent. So now we have some results over here. So we have to make sure this area is having enough gaps, because otherwise this will become a problem over here. So when you are having edges very near to each other, this bumps may happen. So give enough space between your edge flows. Make sure they are quads. You can even adjust after your modeling is done. So we don't know perfectly what will happen after the smoothness is given. So here we may need some hard edges at the front. We can go with crease, something like this. So we don't want it to be too much bent. I will go with this blocker. I'll see how we can model this blocker. It is going to be a simple piece. I will go with cube. Sorry, shift right click, cube. I'll just go with a simple cube, 0.1. We have some height of 0.15, where it will block or become a barrier between your handle and the blade. Now I'll come here, select these edges over here and apply a bevel edge. We get a result something like this. I can have some more fraction. I'll go with multi-cut. I'll try to connect them. You can see we want to go with only quads. That is the reason we are connecting these segments 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So everywhere we need only 4 segments. So here I am not going to make it very smooth. See, when I press 3, it is going to look like a pen. I'll come here, I'll select all the segments except this thing in the center. Shift right click, crease tool 3. Now just get something out of it, not too much. Yes, I think it is enough for now. Right, now we have, when we see in perspective mode, we have 3 models, but they are not aligned correctly. So first, better make center pivot for all the 3 objects. So we will name it as blade, block and handle. If you want more control over this, you can have, but for now we will stop with this. I'll go to the top view, try to get some thickness over here. Looks very thin. Right, I'll select the blade, I'll go to modify, center pivot. Again here I will do the same thing, press G. So everything is center pivoted. So now we have to align them. So how do we align? So we'll start from this blade. I want to align the blade to this block. I will select this and then I'll go to modify, align tool. So when I select the align tool, you can see some options coming visually. So if you are a user of Adobe Illustrator, the same options will come. Here you can see how it will be aligned, either to the center or to the top. So now I want it to be aligned to the center. I'll just click this. You can see it got aligned to this center. Again, I'll hold this handle. I will select this handle. Again, modify, align tool. Again, I want it to be aligned to the center. At the bottom we can see, now we can see it is getting aligned. Aligning is easy. If you're confused, you can select this cube, this cylinder. I want to align this cylinder to this cube. I'll select this cylinder first, then I'll select the cube. I'll go to modify, align tool. So you are getting some options. So when I click this, it is going to get aligned to the center. This is to this far edge, this is to this far edge. According to our selection, it will get aligned. When I click this, you can see it is getting aligned to this line. Again, if I want over here in the center, when I click, it is coming over here. Depending on our need, we can align objects to each other. Right, so now we have a simple knife with us. If I want, I can convert it to a smooth mesh. Modify, convert, smooth mesh preview to polygons. Again, I will press G over here. Again, for this I'll press G. So it is having a quite lot of poly count over here. This is not what we wanted. We don't want this much. If you are going with very high level of detail to the model, we may need this level of polygon. But for now we don't need this. Right, I think there is a mistake in this knife. I'll see what is the mistake here. Again, in this area there is some thickness, so we didn't notice that. But when I come here, it is getting scale from top. I'll select this vertices. Right, I'll select these vertices. They are a bit on the thicker side. I'll just come here. I'll try to get the same thickness what we are having over here. It will have a little bit bulge. Right, this is what I wanted. So I don't want it to be fully scale from here. I want some thickness over here, because a knife will have some weight, so that weight is going to be over here. So from here it is going to reduce, so the thickness of the blade is going to get reduced from here to here, not from here to here. So these small details, please check. I'll just press 3. I have a knife over here. Here we can see yes, this level is. For this, I'll go to modify, convert, smooth mesh. We don't have to go with convert to smooth always. If you want, you can go. This is just for checking and creating a model, right? But actually we don't need this level of poly count. Here, go to the attribute editor, smooth mesh. I will reduce the subdivision level to 1. This also I will reduce it to 1. This one 2, I will do that. Now I will go to modify, convert to polygon. Now I will press G. I hope this level of smoothness is enough for us. If I want smooth faces over here, it is not a problem. I'll just bring it up, so make sure these mistakes are avoided. I'll select these faces, go to mesh display, soften. We can have some soft edges over here. So this is what we needed for now. So there I see a gap. Maybe I have to increase the size of this object. Right? So if you want more smoothness, you can apply. We are just going with low poly models. We will see in the next session. If you have any doubts, please comment below. All your comments are welcome. Thank you for watching.